If money really buys freedom, why does earning more sometimes feel like you're losing your life? The pings, the commute, the endless meetings. What if the real price of your paycheck is the hours you'll never get back? If a robber shouted, "Your money or your life," you'd hand over your wallet without thinking. But most of us make that trade in slow motion. One overtime, one impulse buy, one exhausted evening at a time. Most people work their entire lives chasing more. More money, more comfort, more recognition. But at some point, many realize something unsettling. They have the money, yet feel poorer than ever in time, peace, and purpose. Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Dominguez turns this trap inside out. It's not just a book about budgeting, it's about reclaiming your life energy. Every dollar you earn represents hours of your life that you'll never get back. And every dollar you spend is a small trade, not of money, but of time. The question is, are you trading it well? Today, we're breaking down 5 lessons from this financial independence classic. Lessons that will change how you see money, time, and what it really means to live well. Lesson 1. Draw the line called enough. Picture this. You finally get the raise you've been waiting for. At first, it feels incredible. You upgrade your apartment, buy a nicer car, maybe take that trip you've always wanted. But a few months later, the excitement fades. And somehow, your expenses have caught up to your income again. Sound familiar? That's the fulfillment curve at work. One of the central ideas in Your Money or Your Life. In the beginning, spending money genuinely increases happiness. Food, warmth, safety. Those are the essentials. They bring comfort and peace of mind. A bit more money adds convenience and pleasure. Good coffee, better clothes, the occasional vacation. But then something strange happens. You keep spending, expecting more joy, yet it never comes. You upgrade your lifestyle, but the satisfaction doesn't scale with it. And soon, you hit the plateau. The point where more spending adds clutter, stress, and noise instead of fulfillment. Push past that point, and the curve actually drops. Now, more is making you less happy. You're working harder, buying more, and feeling emptier. It's the classic paradox of modern life. We mistake consumption for contentment. The authors call the peak of this curve enough. It's not about deprivation, it's about balance. Enough is the sweet spot where comfort meets contentment, where what you have truly supports the life you want. The problem is, most people never stop to define their own enough. They chase the moving target society sets for them. Bigger houses, newer phones, flashier vacations, and never realize they've crossed the line where more becomes too much. But once you consciously decide what's enough, everything changes. You stop spending to impress others and start spending to improve your life. You stop chasing upgrades and start chasing freedom. Because the real luxury isn't in what you buy, it's in the peace you feel when you no longer need more. Lesson 2. Calculate your true hourly wage. Now that you've defined what's enough, the next step is understanding what your time is truly worth. Most people think their income defines their value. I make $30 an hour. I make $80,000 a year. But that number is an illusion, because it only measures what you're paid for your time, not how much time or energy that paycheck actually costs you. Your Money or Your Life introduces a powerful concept called your true hourly wage. It's the real value of your time after accounting for all the hidden costs of earning it. Let's break it down. You make $5,000 a month after taxes. You work 40 hours a week, about 160 hours a month. On paper, that's roughly $31 an hour. But wait, you also commute an hour each way 5 days a week. That's 40 extra hours gone. You spend money on gas, work clothes, take-out lunches, maybe a coffee habit that keeps you going through the afternoon slump. Now you're not working 160 hours. You're working closer to 200, and you're spending hundreds just to keep working. After adjusting for all those hidden costs, your true hourly wage might drop to $18, maybe even $12. That's your real trade rate, the actual cost in life energy. And once you see your life through that lens, every decision changes. You start asking, is this $80 dinner really worth 5 hours of my life? Is this $1,000 phone upgrade worth 2 weeks of work? When money becomes a measurement of time instead of status, your priorities shift. You start protecting your hours the way you protect your wallet, because you realize that time is the only currency that doesn't renew. You can always make more money, but once you spend your time, it's gone forever. Lesson 3. Track every dollar and build the wall chart. We all know we should track our spending, but few actually do it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It forces us to face how much of our money and our life energy quietly slips away. Vicki Robin argues that awareness is the first step to freedom. Her advice is simple but revolutionary. Track every single dollar that comes in or goes out of your life. At first, it might sound tedious, like another financial chore, but it's not about accounting. It's about awareness. When you start tracking, you begin to see the patterns that were invisible before. You realize you're spending hundreds on subscriptions you forgot you had. You notice the daily $8 coffee that adds up to an entire weekend trip each month. And you start feeling, almost physically, the difference between intentional and unconscious spending. Once you have that awareness, you take it a step further. The wall chart. Draw it by hand if you have to. On one line, track your monthly income. On another, your monthly expenses. Do this every month, and something powerful happens. At first, those lines might be uncomfortably close. But as you build awareness and cut back on what doesn't serve you, you'll see the lines diverge. Your income above your expenses. That gap is your freedom gap. The distance between surviving and thriving. How do you grow that gap faster? Think in 3 pillars. 1. Spend less, not out of deprivation, but alignment. Cut the things that don't add joy or value. 2. Earn more, where your time is valued higher. Ask for raises, build skills, create side income. 3. Invest the difference. Let your money start earning its own paycheck through low-cost, long-term investing. These 3 moves multiply your progress. Expenses go down, income rises, and investment income begins to grow, setting the stage for your next milestone. Over time, you'll add a 3rd line to that wall chart: investment income. At first, it's small, almost invisible, but every month it grows a little. And one day, that 3rd line crosses your expense line. That's not just a chart milestone. It's the moment your life changes forever. Lesson 4. Aim for the crossover point. The crossover point is the heart of your money or your life. It's the moment your investment income, the money your money earns, exceeds your monthly expenses. When that happens, you reach true financial independence. You no longer have to trade your life energy for money. You can choose to work, but not because you're trapped by bills or fear. Think about how powerful that is. The average person spends over 90,000 hours of their life working. Imagine reclaiming that time to create, rest, explore, or simply live. You don't need millions to get there. If your expenses are $3,000 a month and your investments generate $3,000 a month, you've crossed the line. For some, that might take $900,000 invested at a 4% withdrawal rate. For others living simply, it could be far less. The point isn't the number, it's the mindset. You stop asking, how can I earn more? And start asking, how can I need less? Because the lower your expenses, the faster you reach freedom. This crossover doesn't happen overnight, but you'll feel its effects long before you arrive. Every time your investments grow or your expenses shrink, your sense of control expands. You stop feeling owned by money and start feeling ownership of your time. Quick question. If you reached financial independence tomorrow, what's the first thing you do with your time? Drop it in the comments. Your answer might inspire someone reading. Lesson 5. Redefine what winning really means. So here's the ultimate question the book asks. If you didn't have to work for money, what would you do with your life? Would you still do the same job? Would you spend more time creating, traveling, or simply being present? Or would you realize that what you truly crave isn't luxury, it's meaning? We've been taught to measure success by possessions and titles: the car, the house, the salary, the corner office. But none of those things define a rich life. The authors remind us that money is just a tool, a way to align your energy with your values. The goal isn't to have more, but to need less. Frugality, in this sense, isn't about cutting back. It's about maximizing joy per dollar. It's not deprivation, it's freedom. It's savoring what you already have instead of constantly chasing what's next. One of the most profound lines in Your Money or Your Life is this: money is something we choose to trade our life energy for. Once you internalize that, you stop wasting it. You spend consciously, live intentionally, and measure wealth not by your net worth, but by your time, peace, and choices. Because at the end of the day, the richest person isn't the one with the most toys. It's the one who can look around and say, I have everything I need. I have time for what matters. I'm free. So let's bring it all together. First, define your enough. The peak of the fulfillment curve, where money stops buying happiness and starts costing peace. Second, calculate your true hourly wage. Translate every purchase into hours of your life. Third, track every dollar. Build your wall chart and use the 3 pillars to widen your freedom gap. Fourth, aim for the crossover point. When your money works for you, everything changes. And finally, redefine winning. Because money isn't about status, it's about freedom, purpose, and time. In the end, wealth isn't a number in your bank account. It's waking up without dread. It's having the power to choose what you do with your hours. It's knowing you've traded your life energy for something that truly matters. The next time you check your bank balance, don't just see dollars. See hours. Spend them like your life depends on it, because it does. If this changed how you think about money and time, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that wealth isn't about more. It's about enough. Because when you stop living for money and start letting money serve your life, you've already won. This is Minecraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future.